So actually, if we remember last time, I was doing my presentation, but was cancelled 1 month or 2 months ago. I don't know. Anyway, that presentation or that time was about block delivery. I do some research and I was thinking about also today presenting in front of you, but last week I changed my mind because I think the most important thing in that case, block delivery or block delivery time, it was the time step or the Bitcoin time step between block and between miner. So before I was thinking there is only one time step in the whole blockchain, but last week I find there is two. One in block creation when we create the block, and the other thing when the mining people do the mining, so they have own time step as well. So, and there's not so many people talk about this problem, but I think not that huge one. I think still, but in the future maybe will become a really big issue for us. So the difficulty adjustment, which is the hash rate. So as we know from the beginning of Bitcoin and now, so if we see here, I think laser. Okay, this is no hash rate from, let's say, by the colors. So blue, green, red, and white we have. So the red one is the difficulty. So from 2008, the difficulty which increasing, and we see the hash rate which is in green also increasing and come down, decrease sometimes, and the hash rate as well sometimes increase and decrease, and then as we see in this picture. So to in this point for this picture, which is Bitcoin hash rate, this difficulty in 2 months. So I want to keep this in your mind and show you the next slide. So we have two important things in difficulty adjustment, which is if there is many miners joining the network, the block time could be fast, will become fast, or too many miners leave the block, times could become too slow. So if we have so many miners in the network, so if there is so many miners will mine my transaction. I buy coffee from Starbucks, for example. I find so many miners, so that it would be fast transaction confirmation for me because there is so many people who willing to confirm my transaction. And the other way, if there is no miner, so I buy coffee and I'm waiting for one miner to confirm my transaction, and this is example, but there is nobody. So what? I have to wait. So before it would take me 10 minutes, normal time for blockchain, but now there is no miner, so I will stay for 20, half 1 hour, sometimes more than that. So this is the two issue in this the difficulty of adjustment, which is the miners number. If there is so many, if there is no one. So we start with the hash rate or the difficulty adjustment, and then we show you the hash rate from 2008 until last year, I think, yeah. And then you see that everything increase, and sometimes decrease, except one thing, which is my problem, and I think it's my big issue, which last week I found it by mistake actually, which is the Bitcoin price. So the Bitcoin price and mining cost curve. So when we comparing the red one with the blue one, we find even the price if go down, the mining cost still up, which means if the prices of Bitcoin go down, the mining people still having the highest price for the cost. So if they mine one transaction, and that, let's say, for example, at that moment was the price for mining one transaction or one block, it's let's say one Bitcoin, for example, which is more than that now, but the prices go down the other day or the next day for, let's say, 20-30%, for example. Here we see the mining price still up. So this is the big issue. So they don't care about the price go up or down. Especially I'm talking now about the mining people or the mining. They still uh, achieve what they want by this hash rate or this difficulty adjustment. So this is the issue, which is the two things: Bitcoin price and mining cost curve. So we keep thinking about these two things, which is the cost of the mining and the cost of Bitcoin or the Bitcoin price. So in the first slide, I talk about the time step for blockchain and for mining or mining pools. So as I said before, we have one time step in every header of block, and then as we see here in this picture, so here this is the block in header. So this is the first time step, which is create with the creation of the block, and then the mining period, and then the time step again created by the mining people, and so this is more explanation about what I said in the first slide. So I think, yeah. So number one, time creation or time step. Number two, time step by the miner. So this is the thing I said that I was not thinking about it, or I didn't know about it until last week, or maybe I know about it before, but I forgot anyway. So I keep refreshing my idea on blockchain and my time step and block delivery time by this way. So yeah, so how mining people or how mining polling or how mining manipulation or they criminally or selfish, they do selfish, let's say selfish mining. Actually, if we know every the rules in blockchain, we have 16,000 block or 2 weeks of time, which is here. This is not 2 hours, 2 weeks. Okay, 2 hours, 2 weeks. So here will be 2 weeks time, and here 2016 block. So after 2016 block, will start new difficulty adjustment or new hash rate, or after 2 weeks of time, we'll start new hash rate or difficulty adjustment. But the mining people, they can set their time step in the future. So before the time of getting one transaction or one block confirmation, it was 10 minutes. But they can play with the time step and they make it 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And by making that the time in the future more than 10 minutes, the hash rate go up because they change the time step. So after 2 weeks will be there is less than 2016 block get confirmed or transaction in that blockchain. So we see how they selfishly change the time step and they not writing the truth about so the rule 10 minutes for 2 weeks or 20,016 block, but they or sorry 2016 block, but they change that 10 minutes to 20 and it's until 2 hours. They can change it from 10 minutes to 2 hours. So they lie about this I would say rules in the blockchain, and that's cost the time, the highest rate or the difficulty adjustment, which going up and going down also, but the cost is still up because we are not confirming the block in 2 minutes, we are confirming it in 20-50 minutes, they say, and this is not the truth. So this is the manipulation they are doing in the mining pool, or they do with the mining people with the blockchain or block confirmation by manipulate the time step. Actually, I would like to, or I would like every time I change the slide, someone have question, ask it, but because we are doing taking the video now, I think it's not available. I cannot do that. But anyway, so the system also Bitcoin Cash. This is one confirmation here in this Bitcoin. So the idea here, Bitcoin Cash come to us and they know this problem is there, and they actually the difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, I think it's only one less thing. So they change the calculation period from 2 weeks to 1 day, and the difficulty adjustment from every 2 weeks to each block. So not after 2016 block, no, after every block the difficulty adjustment will be changed. So there is no how to say, the mining pool people, they cannot manipulate, or that cannot do their time in the future, because every block will the hash rate will be adjustment, which is the difficulty. So, but still, because they use the same mining pool with Bitcoin, there is a little bit like percentage of selfish mining or manipulation. So here it's like as we say here, from time description with time manipulation, which is the comments in this, but I will not mention it because this here the big picture, or the most important thing for us, they change from 2 weeks to 1 day, and from every 2 weeks, which is 2006 blocks, to every block, and this is what it's important for the picture. So from the beginning of blockchain, from the white paper of Satoshi Nakamoto, they start with the proof of work system, which is consensus for security and for double spending. The other thing, the difficulty adjustment system, which was the hash rate, so every time, as we said before, and then the robust time protection rules, which the rules I talk about it, 2 hours or 2 weeks or 2016 block. After that time, the difficulty adjustment will change again and again. So this is the rule from 2008, and now we are in 2020. So I think it's not that time to change. It's not that time to find a more self-sufficient way to do the high rate adjustment. So this is this kind of question marks come to my mind, and I just want to share you with this. Well, more than 10 years. So in this picture here, I want to show you or share with you the mining distribution and the node distribution. You see here it's called Asia Pacific, but in my opinion, I'm 100% sure it's China. Let's say 95% in China, and the other in Korea and Japan and others. So most of the mining pool or miners are in the China. So this is the people who can do selfish mining here. So if we say miner distribution and node distribution, that means everyone is getting the same amount, or they can do the same uh, uh, work under the same rule. Let's say that, but there is no problem here, no distribution. They're not doing the manipulation of Timestep because the creation of blockchain every time they do it, they have to do it by the truth or the reality of time step. But here they can change the time step in the future by 10 or 15 minutes or to 1 hour or 2 hour. So that cost us a high rate, and the high rate cost us higher price, and then the high price cost us again high cost by mining, and then the price go down, which is the cost of Bitcoin, but still the cost of mining is up, and this is what they are looking for, and this is what makes them super rich. Here, as I say, as last slide I mentioned, low cost in the beginning, large production, so many transactions getting confirmed, and then the low cost is the cost is still low, but we have so many mining doing the mining job, and we get our transaction confirmed. But look here, still so many people, so many mining, but the production of transaction is still it's going increase small, not comparing with the low cost and large production. Why? Because the mining people, if they keep going with this rate or this high, still for them the the cost or the refundable money for them or from Bitcoin, which we talk about Bitcoin, still low, or yeah, low. But if they go up, and when every transaction couldn't find anyone to confirm, the high rate will go up, and that make them do a high cost for mining, and then they change it. If here after mining one block they got one Bitcoin, let's say for example, here they will get 100 Bitcoin, and this is big amount, huge difference between 1 and 100. So this is the big issue, which is, I think it's a big problem for us, but for mining people, of course, not their problem. They are doing that because they have they can get more money or more Bitcoin by doing this kind of manipulation, kind of selfish mining. So yeah, I hope this the conclusion. Yeah, why we keep doing in this way? So if we go back to this picture, why we cannot go back to this rate? We keep going. There is no way to stay in this level. And the other question comes, how? How can we stay in this level without the manipulation of mining people, or without the selfish mining from mining people? And then if we find something, why they cannot keep it in this rate or in this level? And this is obvious, the answer, because they want to become more rich and more beneficial from the Bitcoin. Yeah. So yeah, this is references, and this is the conclusion and last slide of my PPT today. I hope you understand a little bit about my issue, or about the issue I mentioned here. And yeah, if you have further question, please ask me. Thank you.